This is where it all starts. There's a rhubarb. I get somewhere between 5 and 6 cuttings a season. This is where it all starts. This right here is just what I harvested right now. As you can see, I still have quite a bit left. Another couple, 2 or 3 weeks, I'll come out and get some more. But I probably got 10 or 12 good stalks right there. After you cut the tops off, I take it and put it in the sink. Wash this off. Up all the dust and dirt and stuff, and after it gets pretty well clean, I put it in a bag and stick it in the freezer until it's time to juice it and make my wine. This is what the rhubarb looks like. This is all I had this year. I picked it about once a month, so I've got, I think, 5 picks once a month, 5 months. I kept it in the freezer. It's kind of soft and soggy, but I'm going to juice it right here, and I let it thaw out in this bucket. I probably got about a half a gallon of straight juice right there, even before I even started juicing it. That's what came off the stalks. So I'm going to start juicing it right now. Rhubarb stalks is pretty hard on a juicer. If you got a good juicer, you can take it. I used a Jack LaLanne juicer. I put about 2 stalks of rhubarb in a Jack LaLanne juicer, and it just burned it up. And you know that those juicers aren't very good. But so far, this is a pretty good juicer. I've done it last year. I'm doing it again this year. But you just got to take it slow and easy, shut it off, let it cool down, and do it. But rhubarb wine is, it's good wine, but it's kind of a pain to make. I'm about halfway done with that bowl right there. And my juicer's holding up pretty well. It got hot for a minute, but I shut it down and let it cool down. And this is stuff that came out of it after I juiced it. A lot of people throw this away, but I'm going to save it. I'm going to put it in a food dehydrator. And really you can use it as spice. And it dries out really fast on a food dehydrator. Probably 4 or 5 hours it'd be really dry. And instead of like lemon spice or whatever, you can have rhubarb spice. I'll show you at the end of the video what I'm doing. But I got maybe a gallon right now. I might get about a gallon, gallon and a half by the time I'm done. And that should be enough to make probably 4 gallons of wine. Well, I got that juiced. And it took me about 15 minutes to do it. I'd do about 5 or 6, 7 stalks and stop. And clean it up and then do it again. But this juicer right here, I'm really pleased with it. It can handle 5 months of rhubarb, no problem. Like I said before, I had a Jack LaLanne juicer and put it in 3 or 4 stalks and it burned it up right off the bat. Couldn't handle it at all. But that's how much juice I got. Probably about a gallon and a half out of this 5-gallon bucket. And like I said, this stuff right here, I'm going to put it in a food dehydrator. And you can make seasoning, and even tea, if you like hot tea. You can make rhubarb tea out of it. Or rhubarb seasoning, like if you need something sour. And if you don't have any lemon juice or anything like that, you can just use this for seasoning. Put it in a pepper grinder and do it that way. I'll show you. Okay, this is ingredients that you need. Get about probably about 3 gallons of drinking water. I usually use those 5-gallon jugs that they sell at like a Walmart or different places like that. Usually refill that, and it's probably going to take about 3 gallons of that of purified drinking water. And we have this pectic enzyme. Use 1 tablespoon of that. Your yeast nutrient, 1 teaspoon of that. Your Captain pills, Captain tablets. I usually use 3 of those. Your citric acid, a teaspoon of that for every 5 gallons. 1 of these Red Star yeast, and about 2 coffee cans full of sugar. That's probably somewhere between, I'm thinking, 6 to 8 pounds of sugar, maybe even a little bit more. But that's what I'm going to use today. Stir it all up. Let it sit for a few days, and then rack it or stir it again. You let it sit for about a week before you rack it, but you stir it twice in that week. And I got like 1.5 gallons so far, right there. I'll make 5 gallons of rhubarb wine. Well, that's what it looks like. I got everything put in, sugar, ingredients, and yeast and everything. Put this on with the vapor lock. Open it up about every other day, stir it up. After the first week, start racking it. Rack it again in a week, and then once a month for 6 months. Then it's ready to drink. This is what the stuff that I juiced looks like. I got 4 trays. It'll take about 12 hours to dry it out. But after I dry it out, this is the finished product right here. That's what it looks like. You can either put that in a pepper grinder and grind it up, use it as seasoning, or put it in something to make tea out of it. It makes pretty good tea, you know, rhubarb tea. But a lot of people just throw this stuff away, or they don't even use their rhubarb. But this is a good idea. Make rhubarb wine and dehydrate the rhubarb and save it for another time. So this is what my rhubarb wine looks like. So we can pour some of this. There you go. Don't taste too bad. It's 5 o'clock somewhere. Cheers.